Joining me now for more on this is Robin Wonsley, Minority Leader of the Minneapolis City Council. She's a longtime Minneapolis organizer and activist, and she's the first Black Democratic Socialist elected to the City Council. Robin, thank you for joining us. I want to get your reaction to this latest fatal shooting on the streets of Minneapolis.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. And I think I can only share that it's heartbreaking. This is the third shooting in the span of 3 weeks. While ICE has been occupying our communities, this has been the second murder, and ICE has been responsible for the largest percentage of homicides committed in our communities. And I think there is just a shared desire to see ICE leave, and also a shared desire to see our elected officials do more to protect our residents while ICE is here and intervening our residents' ability to move freely, to legally observe, which is what Alex Pretti was doing, or to usher children to school because they're being picked up and abducted or attacked at their school, as Renee Good was doing while she was shot and killed. So, of course, there's lots of heartbreak, but as you saw in this footage, there's also just a shared sense of solidarity amongst our residents who literally have been the front lines of defense for keeping our community safe in the absence of leadership and protection from our local government leaders.
Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said that this was an avoidable tragedy and that it's a result of Minnesota's state and local officials resisting federal law enforcement. Attorney General Pam Bondi is now demanding access to the state's data on voter information, food assistance, and Medicaid before federal officials will leave the state. What's your response to all that?
I think we need to call it for what it is. It's extortion, political extortion. They've made Minnesota a targeted site for political retribution because we will not cave to the racist and fascist tactics that they are using to intimidate us, because we simply care for one another and we do not want to abide by this divide and rule efforts that the Trump administration is looking to leverage to keep communities divided, to keep them impoverished, to keep them distracted from the real problems, which is they are literally passing billions of dollars into the hands of the most wealthiest corporations and households in our country, and want us to think our neighbors like Alex or our Somali neighbors are the problem. So I am not surprised that they are using extortion as a way to try to get Minneapolis to capitulate and agree to their campaign of violence and just outright hatred and division and cruelty.
And what are the orders locally there for Minneapolis City Police on the ground?
I think that is the biggest question right now. We know what is most clear is they are instructed to not engage. We have a separation ordinance that says that our law enforcement agents should not be cooperating with federal agents, especially those related to immigration proceedings. But then we see what feels to be escorts for ICE agents being carried out by our local law enforcement after they have come in and abducted or shot and killed a resident. They're often the first, or other law enforcement agencies like our state patrol or county sheriffs, who are coming in and acting as buffers for ICE. And they're not the ones who's taking up the work that our residents are doing to usher people to schools, to make sure people can get to work safely, because a lot of people are not going to be able to pay rent come February 1st and risk evictions. We're not seeing law enforcement deliver groceries or do legal observations. So people like Alex Pretti and Renee Good are not put on the front lines of having to do that and risk being killed. So there's lots of questions of what role law enforcement should be playing, and if they're truly playing it in the way that protects civilians in this moment.
Minneapolis City Council member Robin Wonsley, thank you.